Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash, and I want to say Shalom to Yahweh Menakwat out there, pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. And this one's going to be titled something along the lines of, I'll probably find a more appropriate title for it, but I might just leave it. But, something along the lines of this world is filled with a bunch of bullshit, all right? Or America's surrounded by nothing but bullshit, all right? We'll see how it goes. I might just leave it up as that, right? And just put some asterisks, all right, to censor it, right? But I got a couple things here. It stems originally from 2 Reddit posts, and the first one is the one that really caught my eye, and I believe I just saw this morning, and I was like, okay, I might make a lesson on that, might not. And then shortly after that, I found another thing on Reddit, and I said, okay, I'll probably have to put those 2 for a lesson. And then I was thinking about other lies, and then this one, of course, came up because, the whole Epstein thing that's going on. And they've completely borked that whole thing as well. They released, I think it's data set 8 today, or it might have been last night. And, the text was black, but you could still copy paste the text from it. So they really fucked that one up. So, who would have guessed? All right, America's just falling apart. It's hilarious. We love to see it. And, so I wanted to get all these in here since they're all just a bunch of lying bullshit, all right, going on by people. But this is the big video. This is the big video of the lesson here. This one with Charlie Kirk here, or Erica Kirk, excuse me, lying her ass off. All right, lying her ass off. And this bitch just looks like the Bride of Chucky. All right, that's what she looks like to me, Bride of Chucky. Okay, it's the eyes, Let's bring it over. Where were we? I know it's the eyes. I don't know. Just something about her. To me, she looks like the Bride of Chucky. And I know that Bride of Chucky has a name. Tiffany. She looks like Tiffany. The bitch looks like Tiffany. Right? Like, to the T. Right? I don't know. To me, that's what she looks like. But, spoiler, she's a fucking liar. So let's go and listen to all her lies, and we'll grab some scriptures, right? So here we go. I'll full screen it so you can see her lie in full screen. So here you go.
What about the guys you dated before Charlie?
I was here for 5 years. I never dated here because I saw vicariously through my roommate how terrible it was.
You were proposed to by Charlie in 2020. You started dating him in 2018. And 3 years before that, you were dating this guy, Tyler Massey. I mean, you guys would do couples photo shoots. This is still online. And this is only 3 years before you started dating Charlie.
He's in heaven.
Yeah, and 2 years later, you were dating this guy, Cabot Phillips, and here he is posting you guys on his public page saying, yes, we're that couple who gets painting lessons together. Again, this is a year before you started dating Charlie, and well within the 5-year period you claim to have never dated anyone, but you were out here dissing your roommate for dating.
I always thought it was very strange how she would go to drinks with one guy and then go to dinner with another. Somehow getting drinks was the replacement of having coffee and breakfast. I personally would rather have coffee or brunch with someone than going, I don't drink. I find it unproductive.
Why are you here drinking and dating on a reality show that actually was filmed the year you met Charlie? So you obviously were dating. So I'm not understanding.
And drinking.
Timeline. I mean, you're talking to a guy here who's asking you out on a date and you're taking his number? And here you are on your date.
I've honestly spent the majority of my life being one of the most sought after bachelors.
Great.
But I'm just really excited to spend some one-on-one time with Erica. I really do like her, and I'm excited to get to know her a little bit more.
Erica? Hello? Just want to understand how you so confidently lied to our faces when this footage was on national television, and you know the footage is out there. The pictures of your boyfriend that you dated are still public online, and you know that, but you still lie like this.
Stop.
Wait, isn't Cabot Phillips your ex-boyfriend? Why is he now the speaker of Turning Point USA? Leading speeches of how to lead like Charlie. What's going on, Erica?
Stop.
He's also the senior editor for the Daily Wire, the one outlet that your husband was having active beef with at the time, connected to Netanyahu, so...
Stop.
Right. right. So what else are you lying about? Because you're a liar. Point blank period. You are a liar. And we just proved that. So this is still publicly accessible on social media. And you lied about that. You also lied about dating, but you were on a reality show dating the same year you met Jesse. I don't, you know what I mean? What else are you lying about? Like bigger things? Are you lying about bigger things? Because this is small and you really easily, with like a straight face, you lie. So like, what, you know?
She's insinuating, I believe, because she was talking about how they were consulting with Netanyahu. I believe she's insinuating that she partnered with them in some type of way to get Charlie assassinated or something. That's what I'm assuming.
Sure. Stop.
Right? And the bitch looks like a demon. Right? She looks like fucking Bride of Chucky. She looks like Tiffany. To the T. Alright? To the T. Bride of Chucky, or Tiffany Valentine. But I guess a lot of people are doing it. Maybe I subconsciously saw it. Right. I mean, to the T, looks exactly like Tiffany. Okay, it's quite astounding. But yeah, there's better. I mean, yeah, it's the eyes. Look at the eyes. It's like the same thing going on. It's fucking nightmarish, right? So, anyway. So you see all the lies. Let's see what people say. It says, spoiler, she's a fucking liar. Okay, and she's over here trying to be like the trad wife type, right? Seeming like she was so great. So let's get Romans 2:21. We know none of these scriptures really apply to them because they're just the wicked beast man of the earth anyway. And the law wasn't given to them, but we're still going to get them anyway. Because they apply to us, all right, the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. So Romans 2:21, it says, thou therefore, which teachest another, teachest thou not thyself? Thou that preachest a man should not steal, does thou steal? Thou that sayest a man should not commit adultery, does thou commit adultery? Thou that abhorrest idols, dost thou commit sacrilege? Right? Thou that makest thy boast of the law through breaking the law, thou that makest thy boast of the law through breaking the law, dishonorest thou Yahweh? Right? And then we'll go on to verse 24. It says, for the name of Yahweh is blasphemed among the Gentiles through you, as it is written. So, you know, basically this is a series of scriptures, all right, about hypocrites, okay, not being a hypocrite. Okay, not being a hypocrite. So, like it says, thou therefore which teachest another, teachest thou not thyself. Okay, for example, you know, we tell you not to steal. We're not going out there and stealing. Okay, we tell you not to commit adultery, go and get with another man's wife. We're not going and getting with other men's wives. We're not doing those things. Okay, we're not saying, oh, you know, cast down these idols, and here it is. We're worshiping idols and doing sacrilegious things. Right now, we're not perfect at the end of the day. We're not you know, the Lord, okay? So there's times we go off, but we're not stealing or committing adultery or, you know, worshiping idols, all right? Now it talks about breaking the law. Do we break the law? Yeah, we all break the law constantly, okay? Whether it be, you know, if you sit on a seat where a woman has had her period, you've broken the law, all right? If you're wearing a fabric, all right, that's of mixed fabric, all right, then you've broken the law. Okay, you know, if you have a foolish thought, you've broken the law. You're gonna tell me you haven't had a foolish thought? So yeah, we break the law, but we, you know, keep the law to the best of our ability. Okay, and it's within your ability to not go out and steal and commit adultery and worship idols. Oops, I was just accidentally worshiping Buddha. You know how it goes. No, it's not how it goes, man. All right, you shouldn't be doing those things. Okay, but this lady, she's a hypocrite. Okay, and that's a scripture about hypocrites. Okay, she's a hypocrite. She's saying, oh, you know, she's talking dirt about people. Oh, they just date, and then got you on video dating. And then you're saying, oh, no, I didn't date anybody here. And then she's dating people here. All right? Just a liar. Okay, just a liar, man. Okay, and these are the type of people that are set up as influencers and spokespersons and people of interest and celebrities and, you know, all these different people. They're all liars, man. They're all liars. All right, let's get a scripture about Babylon here. This is Nahum 3:1. It says, "Woe to the bloody city." Of course, it's referring to Babylon, right? "Woe to the bloody city! It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not." Okay, lies and robbery. This place is full of lies and robbery. They'll rob you, then lie about robbing you. Okay, so that's just how it goes. This person says, "Normal grieving people take time off and want to be left alone or with family to process their feelings. Some litigious matters over someone close in their life who's passed. If I had to guess, this lady didn't really care for her husband and is obviously, very obviously, cashing in on the grift." There you go. It says, if this was another person, if this were any other person, they'd be catching flack like they were flying over Lineland in 1942. Psychopath behavior. So, see it. What else? Says, this person says, "Sometimes I wish I didn't have morals so I could be a conservative grifter." Right? It says, "It would literally be so easy for me to make tens of thousands of dollars on TikTok, but here I am with my morals getting paid chump change." Yeah. Says, I've even thought about it. I thought about when all that shit was going down, you know, if, you know, with all that shit going down, I told my wife, I said, you know, I should have you go down 2 blocks, all right, and we'll have you sell Democrat merch, all right, you know, get those little white table stands, let me see, merch stand, right, one of these little things, well, there's the ones that are portable outside, you know, like something like this. Right outside. Oh, here, this is perfect. This is perfect. Just like this. Just like this. I told her, I said, you know, sometimes I feel like, you know, we should go out there and, you know, just make money off these dumbasses, Democrats and Republicans, because they're both dumb. I said, we could have you go down, you know, a block or 2 over, and you could have your table selling all the Democrat stuff, and I could be, you know, because she's a so-called black lady. You know, we believe she goes back to Gad, but looks like a so-called black lady. All right. Meanwhile, here I am. I'm Southern Kingdom, but I look like a so-called white person. It's funny how things work, right? But since I look like a so-called white person, I said I'd go down the other block and I'll sell Trump merch, right? And we'll charge, you know, $40 a shirt. I've thought about it, man, because these people are really dumb. All right. And I'm like, shit, man, we can make a little bit of money off of it, right? But I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. It's too risky, right? Not circumspect. You might have someone that starts issues or whatnot. You never know with that political bullshit. But hell, I've thought about it. Yeah, man, these people are so dumb. You could just capitalize off of them. Just capitalize off of them. You know, dumb people will just give you a free entry into their wallet. All right, I mean, they've made it apparent, especially the Republicans. I'm not saying the Democrats aren't dumb either, but the Republicans, man, you can sell them any type of merch. All right, hell, you could just sell them make a shirt that says Jesus is white for $80. I wouldn't do it because it's not, you know, it's kind of spreading a heretical message. But hell, $80 they'd buy it. It doesn't matter. I agree with the message. All right. I mean, they've made it apparent that they'll give hundreds of dollars to someone just because they said the N-word to a little child. So these people deserve to be taken for all their money. Not saying that you should do it, but if there's an organization out there that's taking these people for their money, you can't say I'm sad. It says Charlie Kirk told me not to listen to single moms. Damn, I'm gonna like that one. Damn, that one's good. Let's see. It says I would be 100% okay with never seeing this woman again. Yeah, me either. She can go away. Was that fucking Honey Boo Boo? No, that was someone else. All these white kids look the same. It says wait, Cabot Phillips is her ex, and he is the chief editor at Daily Wire, and he knows Netanyahu. Excuse me, why isn't this more talked about? It says, yeah, I came for the comments for the tinfoil hat party, and no one's entertaining it. No fun. This is wild, though. Life feels more and more like an absurdist comedy reality TV show every day. Yeah, because it's ridiculous. I mean, it's idiocracy. All right, it's that movie coming. Matter of fact, I want to ask, what things from Idiocracy are actually happening now? Maybe nothing. We'll see. It says Idiocracy was meant as satire, not prophecy, but some of its exaggerated ideas line up loosely with the real trends today. It says anti-intellectualism and distrust of expertise. Scientists, doctors, teachers, sometimes dismissed as elitists. Viral opinions can outweigh evidence. Being confidently wrong and getting more attention than being carefully correct. They're trying to go with that. I mean, scientists, you can't really say scientists are, you know, they have an expertise, but scientists aren't someone you should blindly look into because science is a practice, all right? Just like medical practitioners, okay? They're not medical, you know, they'll say medical professionals, but really they're medical practitioners, okay? That's what they are. And a medical practitioner is someone who practices medicine, okay? They don't really have the full scope of it. They're still learning, all right? And a lot of medical stuff is backed by science because science, of course, they're still trying to figure shit out. 2, it says oversimplified problem solving. In the movie, complex problems are treated with dumb one-step fixes, just water crops with sports drinks, right? Social media favors catchy slogans over nuance. You can corporate branding everywhere, entertainment getting louder, simpler, more extreme, declining attention spans, politics as a spectacle. That's been a fucking thing. Science literacy gap. Now, what isn't happening? Important. People are not getting biologically stupider. Okay. Let me ask you a question. No, it's gonna lie its ass off. So I asked, how are test results looking on a 30-year basis currently? Are we up or down in America? Okay, because it says we're not getting stupider, biologically stupid. Yeah, you can cover it up with saying biologically. Sure, our bodies biologically are not getting dumber, but, you know, people are. Long term, 30 years. Come on. So yeah, it's falling back to levels seen many years ago, reading at levels similar to the early 2000s. He said for high school seniors, their reading scores are the lowest since testing began in 1992. And math scores are the lowest since the assessment started in 2005. I thought people weren't getting dumber. Biologically, yeah, you can say biologically, you know. People aren't getting biologically weaker. You're right. They're just emotionally unstable and they're weak in that regard, right? They're still weak, all right? They're still weak. They're still dumb. You can say we're not getting biologically dumber. All right, that don't mean anything, okay? They don't mean anything, okay? You can say our bodies are not getting more biologically weaker, but then you look at the kids and athleticism is running low. Well, why is that? The bodies aren't technically getting any worse. Sure. Says, I love this video, not cringe, wild. Black Widow, someone said he helped him get dead. I think so. Maybe, we don't know. If he's even dead, that is. I think so. I mean, the video looked pretty realistic, but we know they have technology, but, you know, she's always wearing her cross the wrong way. That's the part where we're missing. Is she? Is she really wearing the cross the wrong way? Let me see.
Terrible it was. Saw vicariously through my roommate how terrible it was.
You were proposed to by Charlie in a photo shoot. You were dating for that couple, Charlie.
I always thought somehow placement of having.
I mean, it looks right to me. It just looks like it's diamond or something. Yeah, looks fine to me. It's not like she's wearing it upside down or anything. I don't really know what she's talking about, or he or she is talking about here. Yeah. Psychopaths, trash. So you see it, man. You see it. But that's this place, man. That's this place. It's all just a bunch of liarism. Okay, a bunch of liarism. Of course, I know that's not a real word. Let me go ahead and pull up some. Go ahead and pull up my notes here. See what I want to get. Let's see. We got more because we're not finished here. We're not finished here with Erica Kirk. I keep on wanting to say Charlie Kirk. We're not finished here with Erica Kirk. Let's go ahead and get let's see. I kind of want to talk some more about some hypocrites. Let's see. I don't really have any scriptures about hypocrites coming to the mind too much. Let's go see. Let's take a trip. All right. Let's see. So I mean, there's a lot of scriptures about hypocrites, but not ones that necessarily fit with what we're talking about today. Timothy 3 and 5, Matthew 7 and 15. Really, no. I mean, Titus 1 and 16, pretty much. Again, these, because they're again, you see the cross on her neck. All right, she's professing that she's a Christian, right? But a lot of the scriptures dealing with hypocrites are very Israelite sided. All right, so that's kind of the hard part. These, of course, an Edomite's just a hypocrite in general. They don't believe in anything really at all. But Titus 1 and 16 works. I like this one. It says, do I want to read up? Let's go to 15. Okay. It says 15, unto the pure all things are pure, but unto them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure. And really, that's what they are. They're unbelievers. All right. Because they don't believe in Yahweh Shai. They believe in Jesus Christ. All right. They believe in a false doctrine. It says, but even their mind and conscience is defiled. It says, they profess that they knew Yahweh, but in works they deny him, being abominable and disobedient, and unto every good work reprobate. Okay, and of course they wouldn't say Yahweh, they'd say God. All right, they still read this, they just don't know who it's really talking about. They don't know it's dealing with Yahweh Shai. They're dealing with God and Jesus Christ. So say if we took Titus 1 and 16, we just said God, right? We just said God. They say God. They don't know the Father's true name, and if they did, they wouldn't want anything to do with him. Let's just say God. All right, they love God. Well, if they love God, well, first of all, let's go over and get that. John 14 and 15. If ye love me, keep my commandments. Okay, keep my commandments. If ye love me, keep my commandments. All right, Yahweh Shai loved Yahweh, all right, his father. And what did he do? He kept the commandments, all right, as Yahweh Shai. So if you love the Lord, all right, the Father and the Son, what are you going to do? You're going to keep the commandments. Okay, but here it is. You say you know the Lord, you love the Lord, right? But like it says, but in thy works they deny him. And how so? Being abominable and disobedient, okay, and unto every good work reprobate. So you're a liar. Here it is. You say you love God. All right, you're a lover and a follower of God, yet you're a liar right now. All right, you can't do that. You can't be a follower of God liar. Okay, that's not how it works. Okay, now there's some times where you'll have to yiquab some people, and be circumspect with your speech. If someone says you hate white people, you're gonna have to say no. All right, well, really, we don't hate white people, but if someone says you hate Edomites, or you this or that, and it's in a job place or something like that, or you might, or well, I just heard something about this and that, you might have to, I don't know what you're talking about. All right, you might have to, try to get your way out of that. All right, and that's not lying for the sake of lying. Okay, like deceit, just what's the word? Deceit. There's a word I'm looking for other than that, but deceit will work, right? So, and that's what they do. Everything in this place is a lie. All right, they're releasing the Epstein files right now. All right, and you can see that a couple months ago, remember this? Go away. Trump again calls the Epstein case a hoax as survivors demand accountability. Okay.
Mr. President Donald J. Trump, I am a registered Republican, not that that matters because this is not political. However, I cordially invite you to the Capitol to meet me in person so you can understand this is not a hoax. We are real human beings. This is real trauma.
What does it feel like emotionally here?
It's being gutted from the inside out. Not that I would know what that feels like, but I imagine it's the anxiety buildup with the depression and the survival mode, and then your nervous system goes limp and ironically is shot. And it feels like you just want to explode inside because nobody, again, is understanding that this is a real situation. These women are real. We're here in person. To say that it's a hoax is just not... Please humanize us. I would like Donald J. Trump and every person in America and around the world to humanize us, to see us for who we are and to hear us for what we have to say. There is no hoax. The abuse was real. Now, what goes on behind closed doors, I can't speak for that. What happens around the world politically, I cannot speak for that. But I am here with all of these women, including our attorneys, and I would be more than happy to meet with him, and I will meet him halfway.
Right now, there have been survivors of Jeffrey Epstein speaking at a press conference on Capitol Hill. They're calling for these case files, these documents to be released. And Thomas Massey, who was sponsoring a discharge position to get the House to vote on releasing the documents, says he doesn't believe you're implicated in these files, but many of your friends and donors may be, and he says that's why the Justice Department is redacting them and slow walking the release. Is the Justice Department protecting any friends or donors, sir?
So this is a Democrat hoax that never ends. You know, it reminds me a little of the Kennedy situation. We gave him everything over and over again, more and more and more, and nobody's ever satisfied. From what I understand, I could check, but from what I understand, thousands of pages of documents have been given. But it's really a Democrat hoax because they're trying to get people to talk about something that's totally irrelevant to the success that we've had as a nation since I've been president. Even if you look at D.C. right now, D.C., it's a totally safe zone. It's called a safe zone. That's a term. It's a term of art. It's a safe zone because it's very safe. You can walk down the street now and nothing's going to happen. No crime, no murders, no nothing. Because we had a lot of problems with certain places, and we still do. All run by Democrats, or for the most part run by Democrats. So what they're trying to do with the Epstein hoax is get people to talk about that instead of speaking about the tremendous success like ending 7 wars. I ended 7 wars. Nobody's going to talk about it because they're going to talk about the Epstein whatever. I understand that we were subpoenaed to give files, and
So just lying his ass off. There was no 7 wars that were ended. There was nothing that he's done. All right, and then now we're releasing the Epstein file. They're releasing butchered versions of the Epstein files. You're never going to get them in the full capacity unless someone decides to go rogue. Like how they tried to block him out with somewhere. And there's some events like that, right? You might get a few pieces of information that the Lord allows to slip through. All right, because anything done in secret shall be revealed. All right, shouted on housetops, roughly paraphrasing. But why? If it's a hoax, why are we releasing fake files? Right? It doesn't make any sense. And he's just a liar. And he's talking about, the county's the better. It's the worst that it's ever been. All right. Everything that comes out of this country is a lie. All right. Going back, Nahum 3:1. Woe to the bloody city. It is all full of lies and robbery. The prey departeth not. And who is the prey? The prey, of course, is the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. And, the Israelites that don't necessarily look like so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans as well. All right, you might be white looking and still be an Israelite, or Asian looking and still be an Israelite. All right, it's about your bloodline. Okay, it's about your bloodline. And yeah, man, these people are just lying their asses off. They're just lying. And that's just how they are. Of course, they're liars. And America was founded on lies. Okay. And it's just gonna continue to keep on keeping on. And these people are saying, you got Trump as well. They're saying that they're godly and a Christian. I mean, he made a Trump Bible. Okay, he made a Trump Bible, and these people are saying, "Oh, I'm godly. I love God." Right? In Proverbs 12 and 22. Proverbs 12 and 22. It says, "Lying lips are abomination to the Lord, but they that deal truly are His delight." So here it is. You're saying that you love the Lord and you're serving the Lord, but here it is, you're a liar, all right? And you're doing things contrary to Him, and you're doing weird worship shit. And I mean, you say you love the Lord. Right? They all do this Jewish stuff. All right. Yet they say that got one. That's really who he was kissing. But you got he might have been the one that didn't kiss the wall, but he still went there. Right? Why? For what? Right? Why? You got him doing a whole bunch of shit. All right, got him doing a whole bunch of shit that would go. I don't know. It's really for not, all right, even talking to these people out in the world. All right, because they're not gonna get it. I mean, especially with Trump. I mean, Trump, he's a cult of personality, as the Apostolic Bar, I believe, years ago deemed him. All right, started calling out, and that's what he is. He's a cult of personality. So you can't, these guys are enamored with their leader. All right, Trump, and really this guy's putting himself into a position like he's God. So he still couldn't, he's an Edomite. Okay, so he can't be working with who he's against. So what else? Is there anything else I want to get? I mean, we're pretty much done, right? 30 minutes. Yeah, we can close out there. Just like a short little one, right? But yeah, I'm not gonna get this one, but you can go and look this if you want. Travis and Taylor, I still can't believe how bad the isolated vulgar. Another thing that was a lie, the music's even a lie here. All right, this video here has Taylor Swift. I'll play it a little bit here because I know some people are gonna want to hear it. The music isn't even real. Listen to how bad she sucks.
Yeah.
And then look how much of it is lip sync, not singing.
Ooh, you're fake and fake. Shake it off, shake it off. 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 You got to.
Yep. Billionaire, by the way. Yep, she's such a great artist. And then they even said, how is she at this level in her career and still this awful at singing? It says, and I like this, it said, it's given that one rich girl in school whose daddy gets her every part and puts her on stage because it's her dream to be a star despite no real talent. Oh, wait. It's really what happened. Pretty much, I guess. And she's awful. She's horrible. And all these pop music stars now do is they just use auto-tune and extra chorus and layering of vocals and all this other type of shit that they can do to try to make it sound not fucking god awful like it really is. But yeah, man, let's try to find one more scripture to close out with, and then we'll go ahead and get it closing out. So let's see here. Let's go and look through the scriptures on what I want to get. Let's go with we could do Revelation 21:8. Let me see. Let's get a couple. Let's get Psalms 101:7. All right, because again, I want to basically prove these people are not godly people, even though they keep on talking about it. There's a Psalms 101:7. It says, "He that worketh deceit shall not dwell within my house, and he that telleth lies shall not tarry in my sight." And of course, this is completely ignoring the fact that these guys are Edomites, and the Lord would have nothing to do with them anyway. All right, let's get You know what? Let's Instead, let's go and get Proverbs. Let's get Proverbs 6 and 16 on down. Because this encompasses everything that these people are. And then I guess we'll still probably get Revelation 21:8. But Proverbs 16 and 6, Proverbs 6 and 16. All right, other way around. It says, "These 6 things doth the Lord hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood." It's all that, right? They're proud, liars, and they shed innocent blood. All right, they all do it behind closed doors, right? They all do it. 18, "And heart that deviseth wicked imaginations, feet that be swift in running to mischief. They do that. 19, a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. All of them. They fit every single one of those. Okay, they fit every single one of those. All right, and that's really something that every Edomite fits. All right, every Edomite fits that. So how could the Lord love them? All right, mind you, the Lord doesn't love them. The Lord does not love Edomites, because you can go and get Romans 9:13, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. And yes, you can trace the white man back to Esau. All right, notably with Herod. All right, and the assimilation of the Romans into or assimilation of the Idumeans into the Romans. Okay, and then of course the Romans later being assimilated into European cultures. Okay, so yes, not every so-called white-looking person is an Edomite, just like not every Israelite's gonna look like John Shaft, as Apostle Gabar says, you know. And you got to realize the original Italians, all right, the original Irish, all right. So, and the you know, you had Moors all throughout that area, but now you see people that are Irish or Scottish or Italian. Or who else? You know, even well, no, those are people that are now white people today, so-called white people, and a lot of those people are actually Israelites. But they also did it with reverse way. All right, Israel went over to Africa, notably West Africa. So a lot of the people over in West Africa, you know, you'd say, oh, Africa, they're Hamite. No, those Jake's Israelites. Okay, so you can't just go off of how people look, all right, or what their lineage is, all right. But these people are most certainly Edomites, all right? And the Lord's not dealing with them. So this is Revelation 21:8, and then we're going to go ahead and close out. It says, we'll start with 7. Revelation 21:7, he that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his power, and he shall be my son. But the fearful, and unbelieving, and the abominable, and all murderers, and whoremongers, and sorcerers, and idolaters, and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. So these people are all talking about heaven and getting into heaven. Oh, you're going to be there, all right, in chains, buddy. All right? You're going to be there in captivity, but you're not going to be, you know, just living it up. You know, you're going to be in captivity, okay? So, and we've already done lessons on that. If you don't believe that, then you just don't know Scripture. You just don't know Scripture, which you don't. You don't. But that's a lesson. How long we end up going? Hopefully a little bit longer. Almost 40 minutes. I'm a little bit happier with that. So that's where we're going to close out. All right. This whole place is nothing but lies. All right. Every time you hear one of these fucking political people or famous people talk, they're just bullshitting, talking out their ass, man. All right. Talking out their ass. So you'd get more meaningful conversation when talking to a dog. Well, yeah, man, we're going to close out there. Lord willing, was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak. I want to say shalom to brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring. Keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Until next one, Lord willing, shalom.